Alright. How's everyone doing? I hope you're all doing well. I am doing well, thanks for asking. I am Multi Apples and I'm bringing you another live stream on Twitch and another video on YouTube and Dailymotion. Let's go ahead and get this party started. And some Grand Slam Tennis 2 on Twitch right now. So it's a tournament in Dubai. Playing Andy Murray. Oh, I missed it there. It's been a while since I played Grand Slam Tennis 2. It's a good tennis game. It's a fun tennis game, actually. I like playing tennis video games in general, so. There we go. We got it passing. Some Kroger purified drinking water with me. Set it down real quick. Man, I was too early there. Yeah, Kroger purified drinking water. Deposit out some grape flavored water from Kroger as well. And some lemon flavored water from Kroger as well. Alright, let's resume the game. So far, so good. We won the first set 40 to or whatever to 15. Oh man, he has the fastest serve. 1 kilometer faster than me. I need to change this to miles. Check out the replay for this. So it's going to be tough against Andy Murray. He's one of the best tennis players ever. She managed to get past him there. Alright. 2-0. We're in the lead now. Oh, the World Cup qualifying is going on. Germany and the Netherlands qualify for the World Cup. Before them was like France, Croatia, and Norway were the previous 3 teams to win. Or to qualify for the World Cup, I mean. Nine winners to Andy Murray's 2. fault committed, but thankfully we didn't make it back-to-back faults. Should be interesting now that there are 48 teams in the World Cup, who's going to win, and what the groups will look like. Double game point. We have 12 winners now. The FIFA Club World Cup was interesting with the way they set it up this past summer with 32 teams. Though I can kind of understand the criticism the players and coaches and the different federations would have with the Club World Cup being so many teams in there, and basically how little of a break there is. Like I know for Real Madrid, they maybe got like 3 weeks of break in between seasons. Ajax got a little longer, but you know, we all I think everyone that works, you know, deserves a vacation. So a long vacation, time to rest and relax, spend time with their loved ones, doing what they love. So I can, and especially such a physical sport like soccer, I can easily see why people would, you know, the players and managers not be too kind getting such a short break, not be too happy with it, I should say. Keeping an eye on chat. So I aim to stream, you know, around 5:30 Central Standard Time. Because I get up at 5:25, so it's gonna be between 5:30 and 5:45 is when I'll usually start. But I started a little around. I started at 5:30 today. Make it 5:45 actually, just to be on the safe side. Every day, you know, wake up a little bit later, so I can leave for. I still start work at the same time, but I can leave a little bit later. Unless I'm working overtime, because I worked the last shift at my job. There's really an hour and a half where the place I work at is open and people are working, but I'm not there because the first hour and a half, I should say, because I'm not required to be there. There we go. It's not it's not a hard job what I do. It's just it can be boring at times. Alright, we are winning this match pretty easily. At least I think we are. And then I messed up like that. Fortunately, one of the teams I support for a World Cup, one of the national teams, Trinidad and Tobago, cannot qualify for the World Cup. They're not. They still have games to play in World Cup qualification, but they can't qualify now, which is unfortunate. I was really hoping they'd qualify. Even if there's little chance of them winning, I'd still love to see them in the World Cup because they've only been to one World Cup, and that's in 2006. Of all the countries to qualify, the Netherlands probably has the best team that has not won a World Cup. Portugal has got to be up there as well. Now, based off of the last World Cup standings, Morocco was the best African team because they finished fourth place. This was in Qatar, and Qatar qualified for the 2026 World Cup, their second straight appearance because they qualified as hosts in 2022. Wish there would be like a FIFA World Cup game. They'd start release EA or whoever would start, whatever video game company would start making a World Cup game with all the countries that participated in qualifying plus the hosts every 4 years. And they'd make like one for men and one for women's. That'd be pretty cool. I'm glad they have the WNBA and the NBA 2K games. Even if I like an exclusive WNBA game. There we go. Now they had in some of the not older, but some of the, I guess, newer NBA Live games, but EA stopped making those games. I think for 2K they had the better career mode for basketball games, but EA had like the better dynasty and franchise modes, in my opinion, for the NBA. Because like as a better career for controlling a player, EA or 2K did it better in my opinion for basketball. But like as a coach or owner of a franchise or general manager, I think no 2K did the career better as a player. My bad. 2K did the career mode better, whereas EA did like the franchise or dynasty or whatever they want to call it, where you're like a coach or owner or general manager. They did that better. Oh, I failed there. There we go. Breakpoint. Double breakpoint, actually. I missed it. There we go. We managed to win it. Managed to win 5 of the 7 breakpoints I've played. And we have 2 net approaches according to the stats in this game. I just realized you can't see some of the stats they're showing because of my face cam. I intentionally chose a long game. $17 in. There we go. That's a winner actually. The 3 net approaches. I know y'all can't see the stats, but Andy Murray has 16. Yes, that's good. Honestly, I don't care if it's like two. I kind of wish for sports games 2K and EA would like bring back their respective franchises. Like 2K, I wish they'd bring back the MLB 2K and the NHL 2K. Like EA would bring back the MVP NCAA baseball series. And for Madden, for NFL, EA already has Madden, but I wish 2K would bring back the NFL 2K for consoles. I wish they'd bring back all these games for consoles. And both companies to release a yearly college football and college basketball game. Not too bad in my opinion. Thinking of what other sports games like the NASCAR series. I know they release NASCAR games. Not entirely sure it's EA does it anymore. But I know NASCAR games are being released on a yearly basis. And I do wish the NBA Live series would make a return just so 2K has some like competition and like 2K and EA would when you bring their respective sports games back that they no longer make, they would make the other franchises have some competition and force them to improve the game. Because I know for a while NBA Live was like the better game, and then NBA 2K was forced to make their games better, and they did, which made in turn NBA Live, which made EA should have made EA made their games better, but they didn't, and NBA Live 19 was the last NBA Live game released. It's really sad because actually the first basketball games I got were the first NBA games I got were of NBA Live actually, not NBA 2K. I didn't start playing it like I started playing NBA Live like NBA Live '07 I think, and I didn't play NBA 2K until NBA 2K10. Now I've gotten some of the older NBA 2K games. Don't get me wrong, but the first one I owned was NBA 2K10, and that was actually for the Wii. I now have it for the 360. If it's available on the 360 or any of the Xbox consoles, like Xbox, and what I mean by that is like the Xbox 360, Xbox One, or Xbox Series S, I'll get it on that one of those three consoles. If not, I'll usually get it for like the PS2 or Wii. Excuse me for yawning so much. So far, so good. It's a Grand Slam Tennis 2. We have not dropped a set. Then again, I am playing on the easiest difficulty, so sure I've dropped some points, but not a set. I've never been to a men's tennis event, but I've been to a WTA event. Went to the WTA finals in November of 2022, and that was in Frisco, Texas, that year. To 3 games. I think what to talk about. What I'll be doing this week besides work? Watching wrestling, which I love. I will. I watched Raw yesterday, and I liked Raw yesterday. We finally see the men's Survivor Series team shaping up for Survivor Series War Games. No, all five members of both teams for War Games. I think we know one team unofficially of the women's War Games, and maybe if not, I don't think all the women's War Games teams have been decided yet for either team. I love Survivor Series War Games, but I miss seeing the traditional elimination matches as well. I think they should have at least one traditional men's and women's elimination match at the pay per view in addition to War Games. There we go. It's tied up at 15 for this set. Maybe isn't the right terminology for tennis because I feel like when you hear game, set, match at the end, I feel like I'm not for tennis. Excuse me for yawning. There we go. It's 5-0. I'm still a tad sleepy. You know, NXT is tonight. I like NXT. It should be Joe Hendry and Thea Hale for the AAA tag team titles because I know WWE owns AAA now. Oh, really? You're gonna pause it right after that when I pressed it before? What kind of messed up stuff is that? Cost me the point. Yeah. Because I know WWE owns the promotion AAA. It's a Mexican promotion, so I've seen a lot of luchadors and luchadoras appearing on NXT and WWE TV, like the insanely popular Mr. Iguana appeared. You can see why people like him. Heck, from what I've seen of Mr. Iguana, I like him. It's a, it's he's more one of the kid-friendly acts in AAA, and I can see why the kids like him. I can see why the adults like him as well. As we win that semifinal matchup. So, Edberg is the person we're playing now. Let's do a medium length. So far, So good because we're in the finals of the EA Dubai World Tour tournament. Mr. Iguana stuffed animal, Yaleska. Yeska. I'm probably mispronouncing the name. I've never like with other languages. I've never been very good with pronunciation. There we go. So far, so good. Let's take a look at this replay. And with the women's team, we unfortunately lost to our biggest rival, Arkansas State, for the Little Rock Trojans. Been watching basketball. College basketball started. The men's team beat Ball State. One team really struggles with possession. They have some good. They're good at defense. Don't get me wrong. They've been good at defense since I started watching, but it's just really it just struggles with turnovers. Is their main issue. I didn't even. I thought I was moving, but the women's team, like the past couple of seasons, they've like this year they're better at scoring, but at the same time, last year and the year before, there've been games where they've like really struggled to score, and games they should have won if they had done better offensively. But they're doing better offensively this year, in my opinion. They just couldn't put uh, the opponents away in their last two games. Men's team really struggled against Murray State, and they easily, not easily, but they did. Like the first half, they kind of it was a close game against Ball State, but they really stepped it up in the second half against Ball State on Saturday. And right now, the men's team on ESPN, the Little Rock Trojans men's team are predicted to get the only are predicted to be the only Ohio Valley Conference team to make the NCAA tournament, according to Joe Lunardi. The Ohio Valley Conference is like a one bid conference in the NCAA tournament for men's and women's basketball. Now, this is Little Rock's last year in the Ohio Valley Conference because they're joining the United Athletic Conference next season. which will be the first time in several years we'll be playing conference matchups against another team from Arkansas. When they were in the Sun Belt, they played with their biggest rivals, the Arkansas State Red Wolves. Their 30 plus years of being a member of the Sun Belt Conference. Ohio Valley, there are no other teams from Little Rock. I think they're the furthest west of all the teams in the Ohio Valley Conference. For the United Athletic Conference, they're going to be playing another school that we're rivals with. That's in Arkansas, the University of Central Arkansas. We're going to be playing them twice a year starting next season. There we go. Managed to win that point. So 1-0 in this series of matches. This best of 5, I think. I don't know if it's like best of 5 or not. It's not, but it's like first to 3, I guess. Well, it's been a while since I played Grand Slam tennis too. It's after 6 a.m. now. It's 6:08. You get a point there. With soccer, I know Real Madrid hasn't been winning the games they should have. They drew against, I think, Rayo Vallecano in their last game, which is a team they should have beaten pretty easily with the talent they have. I can see why they would struggle on defense, though, because we don't really have any elite defenders other than Courtois and Carvajal. Thibaut Courtois is the goalie, and Danny Carvajal is a defender, but Danny Carvajal isn't fully healthy. But offensively, they really shouldn't be having any issues scoring. And yeah, because they have Kylian Mbappe. The main criticism is that if, at least for his plays, that he really needs space to score. But Real Madrid has Vinicius Jr. to help them out. He's really their most creative playmaker. And he's their best player overall. And his weak suit is that I don't think he is, as a player, he's emotionally mature for a player. He's not like the most emotionally mature player. And I can understand why. I'd be like that if I were a player. But the team needs him more on the field than off the field. Well, with that being said, with some of the awful stuff that's been said to him by the fans, I can get why he would be upset. I know there have been not last year, but not last season, but maybe like the season before, there have been like literally matches have been stopped part of the way through because people have been saying some horrible racist stuff towards him, and that's just not okay in any circumstance, in my opinion. So I get why he would be upset. And I can definitely understand why he acted the way he did. And I totally understand and sympathize with him for that. And totally agree with what he did. With the way he acted, I should say. Just go ahead and play at the Australian. Hold on. See some growth. With the way Vinny acted, I can understand why he did. But I agree with the way with what Vinny did. So. Because I would, regardless of how you handle it, I don't think I would handle people saying horrible, offensive stuff to me. So when I'm trying to do my job like that in a public space like that, if I were a soccer player like that, I wouldn't be okay with it either. And rightly so, the fans have been punished. So I think a couple of them have been banned, and some of them have been arrested as well. So thankfully they were punished for their harmful speech. But then there have been other times where Vinny just, when I mean by emotional maturities, and I'm not including those circumstances. What I mean is like there have been times where he's been involved with disputes when he had no reason to be, and just, you know, it would have been wiser for him to not get involved, and it would have been more beneficial for the team too, for him not to get involved, and he still got involved in just argue like little disputes with the referee, or maybe arguments with other players, opponents. And then I think at the end of the one game recently, he was complaining about being taken off the field. It's not. He may not agree with his decision, and I even think that he should have been on the pitch. But at the same time, it's not his decision. He should have just accepted it. So, or just like many arguments with the referee, where he's been yellow carded, when it would have been more beneficial for. I don't care if he was even one time due to the accumulation of yellow cards, he was suspended for the next game, and that's the game they really needed him. There's a game last year where we really needed him, and we really struggled to win. And we could have used a player like Vinny. Ajax's main issues are not coaching, because they had a good coach in Francesco Ferrioli, but management really hurt him over in the final bits of the season. They just didn't they just like the Ajax, they maybe just thought they didn't need to try hard in the last 5 games because they had already won the league when they still needed to win several of the games to become Eredivisie champions, which they didn't. They finished in second. And I know Ajax let him go, Farioli go, and players really liked playing for Francesco Farioli, from what I saw. And you need a coach that's a great tactician, a great manager, but you also need for Real Madrid, Xabi Alonso is a better in terms of just figuring out which players need to go on and just the style of play that needs to win each game against each team, and he's a better tactician in that sense. But Carlo Ancelotti was more fluid, and he uh, brought the best out of his players, and he got each player to he was the best at making each player want to play for him and believe in their role, whatever that role was. I think the players enjoyed playing for Carlo more than Xabi Alonso. It's like the Ajax players, I think, enjoyed playing more for Francesco Farioli than they did for John Heitinga. There we go. Miles per hour there. Still medium length game. Hungry. No, it's a little bit too early for me to have breakfast. So. All right, we're in the second round of the Australian Open right now. There we go. I know in 2019 when I went to the Real Madrid game, I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed Ajax when I went earlier this year back in September to see them. I just wish Remco Pasveer had played, and I wish Keon Fitzgerald had played as well. Though I'm glad I got to see Ajax play in person because I went to Amsterdam back in September. I actually drove. I was doing not a bus tour, but a little tour of different places in the Netherlands, and one of the places we drove past with the tour was the stadium for Heerenveen, for SC Heerenveen. So it's cool because they play in the Eredivisie. And while I didn't see any SC Heerenveen games, other than when they play Ajax on ESPN Plus, I didn't go into the stadium, but I've been into Heerenveen, and I've driven past the SC Heerenveen stadium. So that was pretty cool. Ajax played PEC Zwolle in the game I attended. They won 3-1. So that's always fun to when the team you see, the team you support wins the game you attend. To Giethoorn, which is kind of like the Venice of the Netherlands. It's the Van Gogh Museum as well. Still early there. We're late there. But then that didn't matter because we got the point. There we go. I would love to go to Australia again. Went in 2009. So I remember it was the year the Lakers played the Magic in the finals, and I went during one of the games, and during the NBA finals. And I remember hearing about Orlando winning one game in the airport, if I remember correctly. Then I came back the day Michael Jackson and Farrah Fawcett passed away. It's like the day I left Australia to return home. Yeah, up 3-0. So I think we have to win 3 sets if I remember correctly. For I don't know what the proper terminology for tennis is when you've won 3-0 or something like that, or like 6-4 when you got the amount of points you need. It's one thing that always confuses me about tennis terminology. There we go, just outside his reach. Yeah, I'd love to go to the Australian Open, and then I'd love to go to a National Rugby League game and men's and women's professional basketball game and the NBL and WNBL and a women's National Rugby League game and a men's and women's Australian rules football game as well. On. There we go. Managed to get the point there. On. Make a note of something really quick. That was good. I'd love to see a cricket game, and men's and women's cricket game in Australia and New Zealand as well, and a soccer game, men's and women's. I've been to a WNBA game here in the U.S. Both games I went to were in Arlington, Texas, to see the Dallas Wings. Actually, no, that's incorrect. That's incorrect. One game was to see the Dallas Wings in Dallas. The other one was in Los Angeles, because I went to Los Angeles in 2011 for a week, and I saw the Connecticut Sun play the Los Angeles Sparks. I've been to the Staples Center. Well, it was once the Staples Center. They changed the name. There we go. Ah, we missed that. That's my fault. Let's take a look at the replay. I moved a little too late. There we go. Still a little sleepy, actually. Yes. I'm gonna turn off my mic and my face cam now. Just for a little bit remainder of the stream.
And game point now. Well, that's a bit of a marathon of a game. You can imagine both players are feeling a little bit tired at the moment. Well, he really has to start building something. Just to get a service game, I think, will make a big difference. Well, he's in trouble, but he's in another brilliant winner.
Fifteen all.
Well, full power on that forehand. Yeah, right over the low. Part of the net for an ace. Well, what a way to set up match point. To hit a winner there, it's certainly going to give him a lot of confidence. Oh, with that noise, how are you supposed to stay focused? Well, he's got through another round there, Mac, and he's starting to look pretty good.
Well, listen, you know that the first couple rounds, things should be fairly easy.
In theory, yeah.
In theory, of course, we know that that can sometimes change, but as the tournament moves along, presumably you're going to play the higher.
Well, hi, Pat Cash here. What, John McEnroe. Mac, I think we're looking forward to a great match here today.
Well, we're both fired up guys, Pat, but I know we're looking forward to this match. Should be exciting.
Here we are at round 3 of the Australian Open. The action's really heating up here today. Enjoy the tennis.
To the left of the chair, player 2. Ready?
Well, expect a fantastic match today between these two. Let's get into it. Oh, what a beautiful shot hit for a clean winner.
The pros and cons of hitting your shots deep. The pros are you give your opponent less time to come up with a pass and less confidence that he'll be able to do something with it. The cons, none. Obviously, there's a need to make your opponent get on the move and to challenge their fitness level, right, Pat?
Well, absolutely. You've got to make your opponent move. You've got to test out their strengths and their weaknesses. You've got to see how quick they are, see if they can, what their agility is like. And it's the only way, really, to get to the weakness is to find one of the strengths and then hit it back the other side. Very clever tactics, maneuvering the opponent out of position, setting up the open court, and then the winner. Game point now. John.
Here's what I like. That was some good, aggressive play. Good to see that. You also got what you see a lot, Pat, is this 1-2 punch in the game now. They got the big serve. They followed up with those huge forehands.
A massive forehands with massive spin these days. Well, that's the sort of rally we love to see. Lots of patience, setting it up, and then finishing off with a winner. Well, that's a bit mad to have a dive on this court. This goes to show how important this match is for him. Oh, a backhand winner down the line from nowhere. Well, he set the point up beautifully there, manoeuvring his opponent all over the court, setting up for the winner. Game point now. Well, that's just classic tennis. A long rally, manoeuvring his opponent all over the place, finishing it up with a classic winner. Well, it's a good effort to keep the pressure on here. Serve is absolutely crucial.
how about that? 4 winners in a row. That's not bad. That's impressive.
Well, just has to rebuild somehow in this set. Looks like it's gone, but there's plenty of life left in this match yet. Back at the start of the game. From the back of the court, a great winner. Well, that is just classic tennis. Really just opening up the court very nicely, waiting for the opportunity, being patient, and then the winner. Well, here we go. Opportunity here. Set point. Oh, he's done very, very well. Winning the first set. Stayed calm all the way through. Started well. Good play. Well, he's about to serve at the start of the game. Well, clever tactics. I mean, you're always thinking about how you can get your opponent out of position. In that case, it's done very well and finished off with a big winner. Oh, poor example of the play, that one. Oh, the backhand, what a shot! He's did a lovely shot for a clean winner. He's gone for the line, but he's just hit it wide. And game point now.
What about you? I always like the serve first. It's a good hold.
Yeah, that was a good hold. He hung on there well. It was a bit of a tussle, though. You know, he's in good control at the moment. Oh, that was total reflex after that power serve. Clean winner. What a legend. We expect some thumping forehands, but that is something else.
I'll tell you why I like that game. It was some good aggressive play.
Absolutely. That was great play. We'd like to see a bit more of that. All right, what about bad tactics? On the hard court, bad tactic, drop volley perhaps?
Now, the grips are a lot different than they used to be. Bigger swings, Western grip. You get it low enough. When they get below the net, it's tougher for that Western forehand for either the men or the women to put as much on as you like. But boy, if they get it over the net and they have a little bit of time, you're in some big trouble.
Well, that's just classic tennis. Beautiful play, long rally, set up, and finished off with the winner. the ball low, taking the pace off with slice shots. Very nicely done.
All right, you got a player love 30 down right now. You got to get a first serve in here, right? You're desperate for a free point.
Yeah, you got to. That's well, you know, and next point, of course, love 40 here in real trouble. So looking for a big first serve here and get a quick point. Oh, what a backhand winner! Has to get it in the right spot for this break point. Serve there. Fantastic tennis.
It looks like he's seeing the serve really well right now. That's hard to do. These guys serve bigger than ever, so your hand-eye must be fantastic if you're going to get breaks like you just saw there. That's well done.
Well, he's in the right position now, John. He's serving for the match. Should he go for the lines or should he play safely?
That's a great question because you get to this winning position and you often change gears here. But you get a little bit of tight and you start missing first serves and allow your opponent back in the match. The same token, you keep playing the same, you figure the guy's going to start to figure it out sooner or later. So it's a bit of a dilemma here, serving for the match.
Well, that's a great change. Saw the opening. No need to go hit the ball. Hit the slice winner. Great slice rally there. Both players trying to keep the ball low, trying to tempt the other one into hitting, going for a big shot. Not easy to do off a good slice shot. Well, he's full of confidence now, hitting a clean winner, setting up match point. Well, here he is serving at match point. Probably wasn't in the top form and had a bit more of a challenge than he expected.
I'll tell you, I've seen many matches, though, where maybe even match point down the top player, and when he's been able to get through that, he's gone on to win the tournament.
Well, that's about all the action we have for you today. I'm Pat Cash, sitting alongside John McEnroe. you